Well, pickleball is one of the fastest growing sports around, but it's easy for new players to get an injury while making their first attempt at getting into the game. With us today, Dr. Stephen Lewis. He's at orthopedics at Corewell Health to talk about pickleball. Doctor, thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thank you. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you great. So tell us about some of the common injuries you're seeing with some pickleball newbies in your office.
Sure, yeah. So pickleball obviously is now, as they always talk about, the fastest growing sport in America. Even Tom Brady now owns a team. There's actually pretty good literature now showing that there's more injuries from pickleball than tennis. So it has kind of surpassed tennis. Not necessarily an overall popularity, but definitely an injury. So, kind of two types of injuries we often see. One, overuse for sure. So I'm an upper extremity surgeon, so I see a lot of these. So rotator cuff injuries, tennis elbow, or also known as lateral epicondylitis. Rotator cuff injuries are a little bit less common with pickleball versus tennis, as there's less overhand as far as serving goes. But the more risky things that we're seeing more of are the traumatic injuries. So pickleball, if if viewers are not familiar with it, the players are very close to the front of the court, and so there's a lot of backpedaling. So a lot of times falls happen. So I've seen a lot of wrist fractures, shoulder fractures, or even dislocations, even hip fractures. So 90% of patients with pickleball injuries are over the age of 50, and unfortunately, as we get older, we're more susceptible to injuries.
Okay, sure. So, but people still want to be active. They want to get out there. They want to play. So what recommendations do you have to stay safe and get out there and still play pickleball?
Sure, it's kind of the same adage as always, where stretching, admittedly, I'm not very good at this, but stretching is very, very important. Strengthening the lower extremities, so balance exercises are hugely important as well, because trip and falls and ankle sprains are all very common with that. Footwear is also very important. So there are things called court shoes that have more support at the ankle for preventing ankle sprains, but also grip better. And those are hugely important with the pickleball courts as well. And then obviously hydration, especially in the summertime here in Michigan, as you were just talking about with the weather report, that, it's still pretty hot, humidity's coming down, but hydration is hugely important as well and helps prevent those muscle strains.
Okay, perfect. Now, in the case that somebody does get hurt, you guys have an orthopedic urgent care center. So tell us about that and what kind of services your team there provides.
For sure. So our main orthopedic urgent care center, because we technically have two, our main one's on 4100 Lake Drive, so at the corner of East Paris, a large Corewell Health facility there. So they're open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday. And they kind of see a little bit of everything. They don't see lower back injuries, but otherwise shoulder injuries, knee injuries, hand, wrist, elbow, patients 8 years and older, broken bones that seem, manageable. We certainly take care of there as well. Obviously, if there's a significant problem, going to the emergency department, but for pretty much most manageable injuries, we can be seen at the orthopedic urgent care. And the benefits of that, one, you can easily save time, so you can check in online ahead of time on the website called Clockwise. Cost effective, obviously cheaper than an emergency department, and with that we have direct communication with the orthopedic surgeons in the area, and so we can get you in, if appropriate, with the orthopedic surgeon relatively quickly afterwards.
Okay, so how does a patient determine where they need to go? If they go to the emergency room, if they go to the urgent care, if they have a broken bone, they've sprained something, how do they determine where's the best place to be?
Good question. It really kind of depends on the situation. I unfortunately saw a patient the other day who fell playing pickleball and dislocated their shoulder. And so that was one where they couldn't get the shoulder popped back in, and they were in incredible pain, as you can imagine. So they went to the emergency department. But if you think it's maybe not, something extreme, where if you can walk and, if you're limping, or if it seems manageable, those are easily treated at the urgent care. If it's something that's, a more obvious fracture, unable to walk, something like that, that's a little bit more extreme, obviously going to the emergency department is probably the better choice.
Okay, wonderful. Well, Dr. Lewis, we really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. You want more information about orthopedics, about anything Spectrum Health does, Spectrum Health, CorewellHealth.org. SpectrumHealth.org for Corewell Health Orthopedics. More information there. We'll be right back.